Only in Chicago can we say that our river runs in reverse. 126 years ago this month, actually, the Chicago River started flowing away from Lake Michigan.
Quite a feat, 126 years ago, too, right? It was an intense and one-of-a-kind engineering feat that is still marveled at today by Alex, particularly.
And lots of others.
And lots of others. Lexi Sutter has that story for us.
It was the dawn of the 20th century when thousands of workers that were a part of Chicago's sanitary district embarked on an unthinkable task.
We reversed the flow of the river, basically saved the city.
In the late 1800s, Chicago and its businesses were booming. Factories were setting up shop on the riverbanks where they could access water and discard their waste. But that contaminated the water residents relied on.
It wasn't long before those wastes impacted the water quality and people began to get sick.
Thousands of people died and something had to be done. That's when engineering pioneer Sylvester Chesbrough got an idea.
On one really rainy day, the flow reversed. So Chesbrough was standing out, I think, around where like Ashland Avenue is now at the river, and he saw that that current could go backwards.
Through some politics, a massive amount of manpower, and public funding, the audacious project got underway.
Workers literally camped out. They were digging and blasting and creating a canal where, there were wetlands and dry land. And, they lived in tents. They worked really hard.
It took 8 years for the initial phase to be completed, and it didn't come without controversy. Now that Chicago was sending its dirty water downstream, other communities were furious. The state of Missouri filed a lawsuit fearing its water supply and the Mississippi River would be polluted. But Chicago won, with a judge finding no proof.
What started out as a plan to just save our city, and it might have been viewed to some as rather selfish, now has just really helped our whole water environment in the region.
The Chicago Sanitary District is now the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, and it serves more than 5 million people, processing over 1 billion gallons of sewage every day.
Now our treatment process is top-notch. So the water we release into the Chicago River is cleaner than the water that's already there.
Reversing the river is an engineering accomplishment credited with saving the city and allowing Chicago to become what it is today.
Just think of how it has transformed the city to this point right now. You can't think of Chicago without thinking about the Riverwalk.
Our backward river is the only one of its kind in the entire world. And what workers did here to reverse the flow was then replicated to build the Panama Canal. Lexi Sutter, NBC5 News.
Really interesting. I didn't know all the intricacies of the story. We know it's going the other direction, but really cool. Lexi, thank you so much for that little history lesson.
Would have loved to have been in that room when they first, you know what, we're going to reverse the flow. You're going to do what?
With so many people getting sick, though, you could see the emergency that they were dealing with.
Absolutely.
Really cool story.